Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for inviting me here today, and obviously, because this is a keynote with friends, I'm with friends, so thank you so much. Where is the present? Yes? Okay, thank you. So, I think that I have here a problem to see my speaker notes, sorry. Control. Much better, thank you. So I am sure that all of us, we have heard a lot about the fourth industrial revolution. Even more, perhaps regarding digital transformation. Both of them meaning radical changes. And I'm sure that all of us, we think about that. But I would like you to look at that revolution from a new perspective, from a new point of view, from a new angle. This one, not only because IoT is going to be a key enabler of this revolution, what is more important, I like to call it revolution, because the key word here is evolution. Because I'm sure that we are living now something that for all of us is not new. It's something that we have lived many times before in our life. It's something that is common for all of us. So the question is, what do all of us we have in common? Even what do all humans have in common? It's amazing, because I think that all of us, we have just experimented that sensation, that idea of evolution in our life. But let me today to give you an example of my personal life. So I invite you to my family album. The next picture, my first mobile phone. I remember perfectly my first call that day, even the day. Let me to ask you a question. Do you know what mobile phone is this one? It was a Motorola MicroTag. How many of you had in your hands a Motorola MicroTag? Please raise your hands. So this is crowd of millennials, no? So nevertheless, I think that after that question, it's very easy to understand the radical change that for me means this device, this evolution. Is that, do you remember we started to ask, where are you instead of how are you? A radical change. When we moved from the fixed line to mobile phone, it was astonishing. Our life's acceleration was impressive. It allowed us to do more and to do it faster. But what happened 30 years before, 50 years ago? This was our first TV set at home, a Grundy TV set. This was a present from my grandmother to my parents, just married. Suddenly, the world became smaller. And once again, we accelerated knowledge, doing more and doing faster. At the end of the 50s and the beginning of the 60s, to have a car in Spain, believe me, it was something extraordinary. Why my father decided to buy a car? Different question with the same answer. Because he wanted to go faster and farther. And so we can go back as far as we went with the railroad, with the aircraft, with the wheel, with the fire. Always different question with the same answer. We humans have not stopped inventing. We have not ceased to be surprised with each advance in our life. This is very important to be surprised, the wow effect. So we can say that there is nothing more human than first, technology, and second, what I am right now doing here with you, communicated. So inventing tools and sharing them is a magic combination that has taken us forward here today. That is now, I understand how I understand evolution. the combination of technology and communication. With one not challenge to fulfill always our desire to go always further, higher, or stronger. And the more we know, the more we ask ourselves how to do more. How can we reach more? That is the question. But perhaps it's no longer the way to evolve. Perhaps this is not the question that we have to ask nowadays. Could we stretching our minds and not our bodies? One again, with faster thanks to tools at the service of our mind. But what is happening nowadays? Future is every day. When I speak with my children, in this case my youngest daughter, Catalina, 6 years, and I speak with her about the future, about, do you think, Catalina, that you will live with a robot? The answer always is, yes, Daddy, of course. And a car without driver? No doubt, of course, Daddy. And finally, flying a car with a pilot, like a piece of cake. That is normal. Nowadays, change happens so fast. The answer no longer amazes us. We are losing our capability to be surprised. So maybe it's time to rethink the questions. The question always until now was this one: what else can I do? How do I get more? So many inventions, but in the end, you don't know who serves who. Remember how many remote controls we have at home. Make that wanted to make our life easier, but I'm not sure of that. So right now, I invite you to do this question. What I do less? To move forward is now, what can we stop doing? What if we don't have to care of the tools that we use? The answer is that we need to focus on the human. And that is for us in Telefónica, Internet of Things. Getting things to do what object, devices, things, can do for themselves. So we can focus on what really makes us special as people, as company, as society. This is the huge difference with different approach, as I mentioned at the beginning. Because at the end, we live a revolution that no longer aims to make us stronger or faster, but to be better informed, to make right decisions, safer and on time. This is the vision that we have at Telefónica, to connect things with the people that matter to them. Connect people with the things that matter to them. People, society, companies, enterprise, SMEs, industry, cities, and so on. This is a huge difference, making us and opening us a world full of possibilities. Because let things communicate with us by making the tools, the objects, communicate with us and tell us how we use them. That we know each other better and we can avoid mistakes and deviations. But also between them, making the things communicate among themselves, saving us time to worry about what is important for us. But at the same time, what's important to the things, it's operation, maintenance, or performance. So all this communication will multiply the volume of data, and this is big data, a huge volume of data, something that can only exist if we develop Internet of Things. This is the next step in evolution that we started. I would like to tell you about during this session. So it's time for new questions. And the first question for us today is, what about Telefónica? What about Internet of Things of Telefónica? What is our vision? So for that, I'm going to play the next video. Please, video.
Connectivity has revolutionized our world. By connecting with people and things that matter, we have overcome our limits. Connectivity is our most human tool, allowing us to reach new levels of independence. And now a new step forward in connectivity is opening up new possibilities for us to break free from our computers, tablets, and smartphones. to experience seamlessly smart living everywhere. Through what we use, wear, drive, and work with every hour of every day. Now the things we used to care for start to care for us. Communicating with us. Understanding our needs. Giving us more time for what really matters, to our creativity, our ideas, our true potential. At Telefonica, connectivity is in our DNA, and we see it evolving to make life easier, safer, healthier, and more productive every day. This, we believe, is the true significance of the Internet of Things. And so we welcome creators, developers, enterprises, and users to connect within our expanding network of Thinkovators. To transform industries and enhance lives through data-empowered solutions. To know us better, to learn from our daily activity. To make better decisions at every turning point. To connect with our real selves and overcome, once again, our limits. Take things further. Internet of Things. Telefonica.
So, IoT is a new step in the road that we started, and we know very well, 100 years ago. It's in our DNA as a company that has combination, technology, and communication. This is evolution. And we started connecting homes, industry, office, and so on. And later on, we moved to connect individuals. It was a big leap. Later on, we experimented the next step forward, the fixed and mobile broadband. And right now, to connect objects. A new leap in connectivity and communication. A leap forward, a new state in the same direction, the one that connects us with every single thing. So let's go to the basics, please, to the IoT path, the 4 layers, the 4 elements of the IoT that you know very well. The first one, the device, a physical device that collects the information, the ability to be able to sense and measure a different kind of data. But what's more important, after to collect that, we need to connect all these devices, things, sensor, objects, machines, through communication networks. But in this new world of things connected, we require new technologies. And this massification requires 5G connection are going to be key in our life. The new Internet of Things enable a game changer in the next few years. The third one, the platforms. To move all that data and information to platform to be analyzed and to give the service. In this third layer is where the main value of the IoT is built and where well-known IoT services are offered. And finally, the analytics. On top of all mentioned IoT service, we can analyze and squeeze the data. So, in short, with the Connect object, we do not offer only a result. What's more important, we cycle of continuously improvement. This is how we call IoT path. This is as a water meter. Give me an example. A smart digital water meter. I'm sure that the immediate answer we think about that is about consumption. How much water we consume. But in the digital environment, in this IoT path, that information is the only one that we can get from a smart water meter, from a digital water meter. It can tell us if we are early birds or night owls, or if we live alone and we have a large family, or even if we work at home, or if Saturday is our relaxed day. So now imagine thousands, billions of smart digital water meters around the world can tell us about our whole society, about all of our needs. And now all these smart digital water meters connected with other sensors, external sensors about temperature, about consumption, and so on. So every new connection, every new information through mood tracker, sleep monitor, and so on, weight measurement, waste management, reveals new possibilities for improvement, for change, for advancement. This is very important. Internet of Things is not being a static product. It evolves as we reconnect all together, customer and companies. So I like to say that things, look who is talking right now. This new level of knowledge comes to us from our own activity. The most important is not what we say, it's what we do. And this is why I like to say, things don't lie. Cognitive things tell us things as they are. So, but the more important thing is that the things are not only connected between them, interconnecting in different scenarios where we work, every time, everywhere, at work, at home, at the office, at the roads, and so on. Really important is that we're moving from the connected things, which give us information, to the interacting things, creating new scenarios. They share information between them. And this ecosystem are doing something bigger than connecting. They are interacting for the very first time, each one with all of them. This is the road that leads to evolution. But we cannot forget that all this is focused on human first. So the essential is the people. So we have a new world in front of us. Like every moment of change, some may feel a kind of vertigo. But once we get going, customers start to enjoy its benefits, and that boosts expansion. We can say that IoT is no longer a possibility or an unknown world or horizon. And IoT is for real. And we have multiple examples at Telefonica with our customer, because all of them, we are transforming their industry. Give me an example. We stay together with a customer during the transforming journey in different ways, co-creating, transforming the customer, expanding the customer, and grow the customer. Shipping industry, connected car, retail, and coffee machines. Let me give an example of them. The first one, co-creation. We are right now working an end-to-end solution, shipping IoT solution to sensorize more than 1,000 boats and more than 150,000 containers worldwide. Customer need is obvious, real-time location and cargo monitoring to ensure safe transportation. We are providing an IoT solution leveraged on cellular connectivity and satellite connectivity, sensors, and data management in collaboration with our partners, an end-to-end solution. Customer benefits are obvious. They can track the cargo from the factory to the port, destination port. The next one, transformation the car industry, automotive industry. Connectivity in tens of thousands of premium cars. Customer needs is to develop a connected car solution to capture real-time data from the car and provide customer services. And we're providing Europe and UK, France, Germany, and Spain. The next one, expansion. We are working with a retail brand worldwide. Digital signage, remote management in more than 300 stores worldwide. Brick-and-mortar retailers need to replicate the digital experience in their stores. They can provide then a better customer knowledge. We develop a connect store concept where all the visuals are connected between them, synchronizing a single experience to enhance messages and brands. And finally, improving together the growth with this leader in the market, in the consumer market, connecting more than 100 hospitality coffee machines around the world in more than 25 markets. Customer needs, once again, measuring levels and type of coffee machine per machine, developing a proactive maintenance and testing customer feedback in real time. We are providing not only an end-to-end solution, but more important, including connectivity, device management, and data management. Clear customer benefits, real-time coffee machines, I mentioned before, location, detect fraud, and so on. So, IoT improving together, because we cannot do that alone. We need to do it with the best one. And so that you had heard before that if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And this is why we are working to create this innovators ecosystem, like you, like us. So to get as far as expected, the changes we address are, and we live in exponential times, are exponentials, not just in quantity terms, but more important, in quality terms, I mean. It's not only the far we go, we also have to think that we will arrive to a place that we don't know yet, and for that, which we have to be prepared. And this is the future that we have in front of us. More than 3 trillion revenue opportunity worldwide, or 2 billion terabytes for data, or 25 or 50 billion of connected things and connections in smart city and retail and so on. But for me, what is important is that this global outlook is very ambitious, but also we have challenges that we have to overcome to see that. And these challenges are mainly two. The first one, how to get to the massive volume of connected things. This is something that we cannot do alone and requires, first of all, to work on mass production with chipset manufacturer to get the scale. Here, the scale is key to get the best price. The second one, on having standards with the industry. So we are working on that, the standardization. And finally, and getting interoperability between all the vendors, across the vendors. But after this first challenge we have another one more important, the security. In this digital environment, security is key. All our customers that I mentioned before, from the very beginning, they are asking to us our capabilities around security. We need to keep our customers trust, because they are relying on us, the key processes and data. So, and this has to be a collective effort with all of us, with all the suppliers and customers and partners. But after solving all these challenges, we are enabling a new future with enhanced new realities that I call it hyper realities. This is the future that we are expecting to us. The first one, hyper-consciousness. Let me to explain that. Until now, the connect object could only make decisions based on the data that it was capturing itself alone. But now, all these billion connected things, and in the future, as more things will be connected, so all this information will work between them, and will have access to the information on the things around it, having a rich vision of the reality. The second one, hyper-context. What does mean that? Our understanding of every context and scenario will be clear, and one more important, with more detail. We will be able to create digital representation of the real world. Therefore, we will be able to apply algorithms to optimize and predict complex scenarios like traffic. And finally, the third, hyper-reality. Massification of sensors around us in all the things we will have sensors. We allow us to create virtual environments, more immersive. The more things connected, the more information of reality. And so it will be possible to mix, to measure physical environments with virtual environments. So I am concluding. I think that all of us, we have a new horizon in front of us. This is the IoT road that we are building at Telefonica, jointly with our partners, with our customers, with this innovator ecosystem that I mentioned before. But I'm not just talking about Internet of Things. Believe me, I am actually talking about motivate us to keep doing more and do it better. This is the huge difference that we can do it. For us here, for our teams, for our customers, for our vendors and partners, to keep on evolving, to correct what we don't like, and obviously to try and make a little better every day. So we are living a fantastic opportunity to building up a new future, a new relationship between connected things and people. It's in our hands to make a world in which people are viewed as a simple data provider, or a world in which we see people behind, in everything we look at, behind its object. People behind its device and machine. People behind its figure or number. This is the future that we can all do together, jointly. And this is the right time to do it. We cannot wait more time. We cannot waste our time, because our customer, our society, are waiting for us. So this is the time for the Internet of the things of the people. A future which no one can connect better than all of us. And I think this IoT Solutions World Congress is an example. A future that is our next big step forward. So today, this afternoon, between friends, I encourage you to let's make the future reality. So let's do it. Let's do IoT. Thank you so much.